DSP tries it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new edition of DSP Tries It, Breakfast Edition. Yes, after several months ago, I filmed frozen cereal as an episode of DSP Tries It, and it actually was a pretty big hit. People liked it for variety's sake, so I've decided to do another breakfast edition. Today we are doing, yes, Frosted Flakes energy clusters. This is something new, as you can see, that they have at the supermarket. Now, as I was growing up, I was a huge fan of Frosted Flakes because we always used to have corn flakes. My dad liked corn flakes, and I didn't like corn flakes. I thought they were too bland, and I would always put sugar in the cereal. And my parents would complain, of course, "Oh, why you put sugar in the cereal?" I thought, well, let's just buy Frosted Flakes, right? Frosted Flakes are pretty good, but of course they're very sweet because they're covered in sugar. And of course that's why kids like them. So here we are, a new thing, it's called energy clusters. So let's see, Kellogg's Frosted Flakes of corn. Now of course they have to call that out because you have to say that everything's healthy. So Frosted Flakes of corn, or demise, energy clusters, or con puñados de energía. Excellent. Also, 9 grams of protein, because it says there's 5 grams of protein in the cereal and 4 grams of protein in the milk. Now wait a minute. How can you claim that your product is giving 9 grams of protein when you're obviously omitting on the box that 4 grams of the protein are coming from the milk? I don't get that. That's kind of silly, and that's kind of false advertising in my opinion. So the clusters, I guess, are supposed to be of granola. And as you actually look on the side of the box, they show you, see, you got typical Frosted Flakes. That'll be in there, but also you've got these granola, wow, this is not focusing, these granola clusters, and on the back they have this like big thing, see, clusters and flakes of awesome, sink your spoon into a taste of love, what? Oh, sink your spoon into a taste you love, excuse me, it's like, what? And helps supercharge your game. Crispy, deliciously fun Kellogg's Frosted Flakes team up with crunchy granola clusters to give you energy that'll help you show your stripes. And yes, they're still going with the sports theme for Frosted Flakes. Even when I was a kid, all the commercials would show like a bunch of kids outside, alright? And the kids would be like, playing sports and doing something strenuous, physical activity, and then they'd be like, "Oh, I'm so tired." And Tony the Tiger would show up. The kids would stop playing the sport to eat a bowl of Frosted Flakes, and all of a sudden they would be energized and they would be able to finish up the game. Does that make any actual sense? If you had a bowl of cereal and milk in your stomach, do you really think you're going to want to go out there and do strenuous physical activities? Probably not. And also, I find this hilarious. Look at this. Just look at this. There's your bowl, your cereal bowl. Look, see the amount of cereal they put in it, and of course they got to put fruit in there to say to have a balanced breakfast. But look at the amount of milk. It's like a trickle. Like, that's not even enough to wet half the cereal in the bowl. And that's what they expect you to put. Like, that's what they want. That's the standard serving size. Like, I've never seen anyone put as little milk in a bowl of cereal as I see in this picture. Yet this is what the nutritionists say you should do. Yes, the nutritionists who fucking probably won't eat red meat and, all kinds of weird shit. But anyway, I digress. Here's the nutritional value. One bowl of the cereal apparently has 190 calories with milk. Of course, with the trickle of milk, 230. It probably has more than that because I'm going to put way more milk than they suggest. Boy, this is not... Oh, there we go. I was going to say it's not focusing. Then it did. It's not too bad taking a look. It actually has around 14% of your daily carbohydrates. Decent amount of vitamins and minerals. Of course, keep in mind also, they expect you're going to put like 5 flakes in the bowl and that's your bowl of cereal, and I'm not doing that. So, alright, so let's open it up and let us... Oh, it's also nice that they are a proud sponsor of the United States Olympic team. Alright, let's open this up. Well, I guess I'll put the camera down for a moment to open the bag, which is always a bitch. This is funny because I don't even see the clusters. All I see is regular Frosted Flakes in here right now. I guess we'll see as I pour it out. Okay, now I'm seeing the clusters. Now, like I said, I like regular Frosted Flakes, I almost said. I like regular Frosted Flakes. So these, I'm going to like. I would assume it tastes the same. Yeah, the regular Frosted Flakes. It's going to be these granola clusters that are going to determine, overall what I think about this cereal. Alright, so we'll get some milk going here. Hold on. The hamster started squeaking. They scared the shit out of me. I almost spilled my milk. That's the hamsters you hear in the background. They're wrestling. See? Now that's how much milk I put in cereal. Enough so that you can see the white around the edges. And that way you can use your spoon, right, to shuffle it around, and you can get all the cereal wet. Why on earth would you put only a tiny trickle at the bottom? That doesn't even make any sense. Alright, so that's my typical bowl of cereal. So, how does it taste? That's the question. We're about to find out. Alright. Here we go. Mmm. Well, oh. Oh. It's weird. Wow. It's very grainy. What I mean by that is it's not crunchy and it's not like a crisp flake like the regular flakes. It actually kind of, you can taste the grain. You know what I mean? It breaks up into little pieces and you can definitely taste it in your mouth. And I don't think the sweetener's the same. I don't. I think the sweetener on the Frosted Flake is different than the sweetener that they're putting on the clusters. Probably because the clusters, they need to stick together. Versus the flake is just a little bit of sugar they're putting on the flake itself. I'm going to take another bite. Whew. You know, I hate to say it, I wonder, I think the clusters are sweeter. I think the clusters are actually sweeter than the regular Frosted Flakes. Man. I mean, it almost tastes like you're eating a marshmallow. It really does. That's how sweet it is. It tastes like you got a ton of sugar in the cluster. And not to say it tastes bad, it's just a little off-putting. You know, Frosted Flakes are pretty sweet as they are on their own. And now you're actually having even more sugar added to it. Whew. And it's interesting because what I'm wondering is, right, Frosted Flakes normally are meant to be the cereal that gives you energy, right? So I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, oh, we're going to give you like protein now with your cereal too. So I guess it's an alternative if your kid doesn't want to have like an egg or greasy, like a breakfast meat, like a ham or a bacon, right? Give them this and they'll get their breakfast protein from the cereal instead of from the meat. So I can understand what they're going for, but would this be a cereal you want to have your kid eat every day? You know what I mean? Like maybe when they're not going to have that, but what if there is a day when they're having eggs? Well, I wouldn't want to give them this cereal because now they're doubling up. Now they're having too much protein in one meal. You know what I mean? So in that regard, I think you'd have to be careful, especially because this is obviously marketed to kids. You'd want to be careful. This wouldn't be something that I would want them to eat every single day unless this is their whole breakfast. If this was their whole breakfast, fine. But not if they're going to have other supplementary things too that are going to bring in more protein into the meal. But it is kind of off-putting how sweet it is. I'm going to have one more bite here. Keep in mind, you know, I'm in my 30s and most kids are not in their 30s. So a few are, I guess. But you know, most people of my age probably aren't trying to eat this as a breakfast cereal, but let me see. It almost has like a distinct vanilla taste to it. It's very, 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 very sweet vanilla, but it almost has a vanilla taste to it. So, it's not bad. Is it amazing? Does it blow me away? Absolutely not. It's about the same price as other cereals, by the way. It's not like it's any more expensive. or cheaper or whatever. It's about the same. I would say this would be something to alternate between other breakfasts if you're going to be doing, like I said, certain days you're going to have eggs and other meats, and some days you're not. The days you're not, this would be a good breakfast cereal. But it's very, very sweet. For me, this is probably not something I would want to eat every day. It's too sweet for me. I would have it every once in a while. But others, if you're looking for a super sweet cereal that tastes kind of vanilla-y and has a lot of protein to it, you might like it. So I'm going to actually give the Frosted Flakes of Corn de Maíz Energy Clusters con Puñados de Energía, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it sucks. I think it's a good thing to alternate with your regular breakfast cereal. And, of course, they're great. Which is funny because it doesn't even say that. I used to say that on all the boxes. It doesn't even say that anymore. That was the catchphrase. They're great. And doesn't say that anymore. Weird. Alright, so that's it for the DSP Tries It for Frosted Flakes Energy Clusters. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for another episode soon.